Does anybody still smoke dope around here?
Well, what do you do to relax?
Smoke marijuana.
You were joking when you said that, of course.
Yeah, right.
It is a song called Sweet Leaf. Thank you.
Come on, light it up. Let's get Chinese eyes, man.
Starts right off, you know, riffing and heavy. I only had a hand injury, which kind of defined how he played guitars. There's a lot of two-note and one-note riffs because, you know, difficult chords were painful for him at this time.
This thing just come down on my hand, and it trapped my hand, and your reaction to pull your hand back, I just pulled the ends off, and then I made it fix onto my fingers, and I sat there all night then, rubbing it down so it would shape like a finger. And then I had to put a piece of leather on so it would grip.
Ozzy really gets that the ceiling there with his tonality up there, you know, versus that drudgy that's underneath him.
That dude had such a way with melodies, vocal melodies, weaving them around Iommi's riffs.
That smooth ass bass line. Well, the interesting thing is you can chill to it, but then you can rock to it. It's like your choice. You can sit back in your chair, take it in, you know, black lights and disco going on. Or you can just start, you know, and feel the power of it. So there's power and chill all at the same time.
And I don't know what training Geezer Butler had in his life. I should have probably looked that up. But as a bassist, he plays classical licks and scales. I mean,
Understated, but fucking flashy as fuck too.
They're not guitar scales; they're blues scales. They're standard, straight, you know, concert scales, kind of, which is interesting because it's a good contrast. You had one on one side of the stage, the other on the other side of the stage. It was a good. Then he had a jazz drummer in the middle, kind of flipping the whole thing into a different place. They weren't afraid to try anything on this record. They just threw everything at it.
Fucking out of nowhere.
Celebrate this song, Sweet Leaf. That's badass.
Come on now. Oh yeah. Drop me out, baby. All right. Oh yeah. I want you out of the sweet leaf. Oh yeah.
fucking Ozzy freestyle out the end. So fucking funky and groovy.
Just that concept. Think about that. I mean, stoners, rock. I mean, they were carving their own way so hard, man.
Yeah, now this song is a mind fuck for me. That opening, and it's a refrain that comes back through a few times in this song. It's like the Who meets the Partridge Family. And then it turns into this really groovy riff right here.
Have you ever thought about your soul? Can it be saved? Or perhaps you think that when you are dead, you just stay in your grave. Is God just a thought within your head, or is it parts of you?
Real attitude riff there.
It was all original, man. It was all fresh. That bass. Yeah, it's Partridge Family meets the Who. I mean, and that's like if John Entwistle played with the Partridge Family or something right there to me.
Hey, I think I love you, so what am I so?
None of the rest of the record has any major movement like this in it. It's interesting.
When you think about death, do you lose your breath or do you keep your cool? Would you like to see the Pope on the end of a road? Do you think he's a fool?
What trips me out is like 20-something Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, that fucker's still doing it.
Could it be you're afraid of what your friends might say? Then you believe in God above. They should realize before they criticize that God is the only way to love.
So back then, I mean, it's still almost so you love it or hate it. Kind of like it, you know, you can listen to AC/DC or you can't.
I mean, the name was a fucking, you know, especially when we got to the Bible Belt, for instance, in America, we'd get Pinkerton and fucking all this shit.
Yeah, the lyrics on this. Today they'd be controversial even. I mean, back then nobody ever heard anybody saying shit
And
like
we had
this.
to break the barriers then. Like nowadays, it's different. I mean, you got Marilyn Manson, bands like that. We've done all that years ago, but it was hard then because we were hitting a hard amount of people that, you know, really we were offensive to.
I remember doing a show one time, and I think it was down in Nashville, and this guy, he's got a big black robe, he's got all this fucking paint like Alice Cooper makeup on, and he walks on stage, and suddenly one of the road crew runs in and whacks him over the head with a fucking piece of wood or something. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And the guy points at him, and he's about to stick this fucking dagger into Tony's chest. That was because he played a bad note.
That was a good night.
Oop. Here we go. Yep, little bridge. Gonna change it up on you a minute.
I just realized I'm just sitting here grooving on the song, and this is a documentary in retrospective. We're supposed to be talking about this, but these guys are fucking smarter than me anyway. What do you need to hear me for? I'm just presenting it.
This is great because you get to hear a little more intricate. You know, they cleaned up all the fuzz, which is nice.
And honestly, Ozzy sounds good on this recording, and I believe he has stated that he doesn't remember barely even making this record.
I was stoned all the time, and so I didn't really appreciate what was going on around me. And I was into the sex, drugs, and the rock and roll, and the rock and roll was paying for my sex and the drugs.
This next thing, I don't know why I don't hear this more often from people as the greatest pieces of music of all time, from one thing flowing into the other. Because Embryo into Children of the Grave should be required listening on all classic rock stations, and it's not.
Imagine sitting around stoned being like, that's cool. We don't have a song for it. Just throw it on the album.
Is it the first death metal song? I don't know, but it's pretty fucking awesome. It's scary.
They took full advantage of the multi-track situation. There's a lot of overdubs on this record, guitars mostly, and I'm pretty sure that you know, the keys and stuff. There's a few synth parts on this record. We're all overdubbed, obviously. And that's a riff right there that I still hear every day 4 or 5 times, you know, throughout the day by different bands. They probably don't even realize they're ripping it off. They probably heard it once.
Ozzy has the best fucking yaz in rock and roll history ever. Ozzy's got the best yaz. Saying it right now.
Yeah, really the only way, you know, folks figured out how to be heavier was just to detune further. You know what I mean?
A lot of bands have tried, and a lot of bands owe their success to trying to sound like these guys, you know. But the basic tone of the guitars are way cleaner than people think they are. I mean, there's some gain there, but it's not a Mesa Boogie, you know, cascaded, you know, front end or anything on it. It's definitely just some kind of just a simple tube amp turned up, front end turned up on it. Old school, which I still my favorite way to do it. Yeah, there's no weak song on here at all.
It's like jabs and punches, man. I love this style of bass playing. Guys that you know, even though he's up on the neck, man, they're holding the floor. just pounding you with it. I mean, that's what keeps you in it. You know, I mean, the solo's sweet and all that, but I mean, the lineman making the path is that freaking bass, man. It's the floor.
That's the best fucking rhythm section. That's the best fucking
So
rhythm
burly.
section. Did Black Sabbath get credit from Friday the 13th? They had to rip that off for Friday the 13th, right? Pretty fucking sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Both interludes on this album are just so beautifully fucking placed.
All this and the, you know, that guitar player, man, he played with a nub. He had like a leather thingamabob or something on his finger.
Again, so many metal fans just associate Black Sabbath with heavy metal, and they never really listen to the albums, and they never go back and listen to them, you know, and just really study them and be like, oh, there's so much fucking more happening with this band.
See, that's a good example of the guitar not being overly distorted. I mean, it's relatively clean, but it's the riff that makes it heavy. And being tuned down half a step, definitely.
You feel kind of like how lazy that riff is, like it's almost behind. That's what makes it unique too. I mean, just stony.
When I hear this part of the song, I think of all of the biggest Disney bullies, like Brom from Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Gaston, bully who thinks he could walk down the street like an asshole.
You're searching for your mind, don't know where to start. Can't find the key to fit the lock on your heart. You think you know, but you want.
It is. You can hear the tube preamp is cranked on his voice here on the preamp end of it. That's, you can hear the tube. I can hear the tube, you know, crying for help, basically, on how they did this. It could have been an early transistor channel 2. I don't know what board this was tracked on. I mean, it could be either one, actually, the way it sounds, but they definitely were looking for something aggressive.
That's what that riff, man, it's just good. It's like you can resist it, but you can't. Again, you have to move out of the way.
Evil ways instead of love. You made me master of the world where you exist. The soul I took from you was not even missed. Yeah.
Fucking bass, man, right there in the background, just going for it.
But this unison riff here, the bass and the guitar, that's a classy move, man. I love that. There are bands out there today that do that fairly often when they want to make a point and it catches your ear. There's no chord, it's just unison. Everybody doing the same notes, the same riff. See? Boom. Just swings. Turns right into a, jazzy rhythm part with the heavy guitar.
For a while there in my life when I was getting into Black Sabbath, I didn't get Bill Ward's jazzy drumming. My unlearned ear, I always heard it. I had always heard it. It always sounded confusing to me.
I love how this gives you the vibe of watching a person that's too drunk to like walk normal or balance, like they're trying to fight falling over and go this way though. I mean, yeah. I mean, this gets you that way, which is unique.
More cowbell. I got a fever.
See, when you get on some good weed and you start getting on a riff, man, you want to keep hearing it. It's like, you don't want the orgasm to end. I mean, this is great 4-piece music writing, epic stuff. This is, you can almost picture Superman in his Fortress of Solitude in a nice bubbly sauna or bath, hot tub thing. Actually, the sauna's inside of the tub. You have to dive down underwater to get to the sauna.
This is no fantasy, no careless product of wild imagination.
Honestly, and no offense to America, but I thought this would be the perfect theme song for The Last Unicorn.
That cannot be. Why would I be the last? What do men know? Because they have seen no unicorns for a while does not mean that we have all vanished. We do not vanish.
It's 6/8 time. I don't know if they even knew that, when they did it, but it's a lot of metal bands today use that 6/8, that 6/8 and 2 cadence time signature. That it's just kind of a fun thing to do because it's not 4 on the floor, boom, like a lot of rock is. It's interesting. It's more of a waltz. It actually technically is kind of a waltz. It's 2 waltzes glued together.
I've felt this song hard on a few occasions. This is how a band sticks with you, when they just have that fucking song at that right fucking moment. You already love their songs, you already love their music, then in that moment they fucking had one that hit. It stays with you forever. You always remember. That's the great thing about fucking music, good or bad.
And I really like how campfire-y this is. I like for them to have this expression as well as obviously what they're strength and power is. This is just powerful, really. And you know who they got on that little wood flute thing? A real elf. It's authentic. He said, yeah, it's right there. It's one of them half-elf donkey things, you know, with the hoofs.
I like how that last lyric was a play on, was it NIB or The Wizard or Fairies Wear Boots? One of those three, maybe Fairies Wear Boots. Play on that lyric. Smoking and tripping is all you do, crying and thinking is all you do. Nice play on that. If my Sabbath memory serves me correctly.
Too much solitude for you. Dirty minds are afoot at Smitty's studio.
If you played that and didn't tell anybody who it was, they didn't really think about or ever hear that record, I don't think they'd guess Black Sabbath. Never. At all. They wouldn't think Ozzy for sure.
No. Just get lost in it. And then... there it is. Whew. Scares you every time.
Ready. Fire. Already, right?
Told you, man. Already.
That was. I think you jumped the gun a little too soon on that.
No, I'm confident.
If the group I jam with ever were to do a Sabbath cover, Into the Void would be the one we do. This song is probably my favorite Black Sabbath song, period. It's just a killer fucking riff and tune all the way around, man. It's great. Dude, that's an Own It riff, right? Like everyone gets quiet and looks to the ground when this riff comes by you. You give it respect. Oh, right when you thought it was just awesome enough. It's like you see it coming and you can't do nothing about it. I love it.
Rocket engine burning through so fast, up into the night sky they blast. Through the universe the engine whine. Would it be the end of man and time? Back on earth the flame of life burns low. Everywhere is misery and woe. Pollution kills the air, the land and sea. Man prepares to meet his destiny.
So goddamn creative. So inventive. So fucking not dated. So fresh still.
That's double tracked, and when you listen to it, he bent the guitar, the string exactly the same both times he played it. I mean, he knew right where that was. Very precise, actually. Again, this awesome snare sound. I'd be happy with that snare sound, you know, in a mix today.
Brilliant. Yep. I'm happy I got to listen to that.